Hello, welcome to another landscape painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today is called Road to Dusk. And I don't believe I've actually photographed it yet, but it's sort of an interesting painting in that I basically did most of the painting back in June and was pretty happy with it. Was going to photograph it, but never actually got around to it because I had to move into the studio that you'll be familiar with from the live videos. And then, of course, I looked at it for a while. I had it out, and I thought, oh, there's some things I really want to do to this. So basically, the last third of this video you'll see is from last month, and hopefully you enjoy watching me put the scene together. Now, it's a scene that I've painted quite a few times in the past. It could be New Zealand, it could be California, it could be England. I don't really know where it is because the reference it was pretty old, but I really am fond of like these, I call them tree tunnels, and that's not a very good name for a painting though, so I've I've just now decided to call this Road to Dusk, and hopefully I couldn't find a photo of it, but anyway, I am have been in the process of not moving into my new studio, getting it prepped, so I have to paint, and there was a carpet in there that I needed to remove, and so this won't be really much of a nuts and bolts how I did it video. For if you are the type of person and that's what you're looking for and you're new to the channel, just click on my name. It says M. Francis Painter, and look at any video marked live, and you'll get more nuts and bolts than you can shake a stick at, because basically those paintings there are in real time. I'm telling you what colors I'm using, mixing, and so on and so forth. It's pretty in depth. This is just going to be a little more of like a status update, and there'll probably be some pearls of wisdom. Hopefully I can manage a few pearls. It's going to be 15 minutes, so I'll try and get a few out. I guess. Well, we could just talk about this painting. It's like, so how do you know when a painting's done, right? Um, Well, and there have been people, because this is not a redo. This is the only time I've shared this painting. But if you look around the channel, you will find this scene. But I did not express it in a golden way. So that was an idea I had back in June of last year. And I was pretty happy with it. It's quite big and broad, expressive, no, I haven't been drinking. Expressive brush strokes. And I like that aspect of it. After evaluating it for quite a while, I thought, there's some things I need to do to this to give it a little more direction. And one of the main things was addressing the area that's on our right, which is what I usually would refer to as a bunch of nothing. It's just some foliage, right? And so it'll be quite interesting. In fact, I don't think I've looked at either video footage at all. So we're kind of experiencing this together. But how do you know when your painting's done? Well, the one thing I always say is that you're better off stopping well before you've ruined it. So, but the only way that you'll know to do that, to get into something else I'm always saying, is by doing a lot of paintings and having ruined a lot of paintings and having gone too far a lot of times. Unfortunately, I really can't think of well, you could listen to me right now and just telling you don't go too far, but how much that'll stick, it's debatable, because when you're in the heat of the moment and you're trying to make things work, are you making good decisions? And a lot of times and this is one of the reasons I'm always hitting this paint all the time thing, is you don't really know if you're making a good decision. You need to have a wealth of experience that you can draw upon. That'll inform that. Like you say, oh no, I remember I did something like this. I went too far and I ruined it, and I turned off. In my case, I might overpaint and turn all the beautiful expressive expressive brushwork into little chiclets, for example, and that's not good. I mean, that's some artists, it's their style, but it's not mine. Neither is super fat expressive brushwork. I like to find a happy medium where the brushwork is expressive, but it's doing the job it needs to do in conveying the scene that I'm attempting to portray. So that's the thing. But by the way, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because there's a lot of great stuff here. You got to go waiting. I think we're at 500 videos. I probably should do a count, but there's a lot. I've been doing this for a long time and quite consistent with it. And as a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why today is Wednesday, March 11th, and I was meeting with someone at my new old studio. We'll just call it the new studio for now. Talking about paint. I'm going to paint it, and then I thought, I came home for lunch, and I thought, no, I'm going to get a video in for these guys because they're hanging in there with me, and I want to make sure that we've got something to share. And so I think we've addressed when do you know it's done. You know when it's done when you've ruined a lot of paintings, and you know better, right? Hopefully you know better. I think I did a pretty good job in what I added to this, because that's another thing. Like, don't be in another good reason to do a lot of paintings. Have a lot of paintings going all the time. Have a lot of starts, and then you'll have days where you feel like doing finishes. And it's good to have something around for a while and look at it and sit there and think about it. And debate the sorts of things you think you might be able to do to improve it, or the things that you like about it, or some of the things that really, a lot of times we'll have this interior dialogue when we're, pardon me, when we're doing a painting. Like, you go something like, yeah, this is looking okay. This is working. This is fine. It's okay. It's pretty good. It's okay. Maybe it's not everything I thought it could be, but it's okay, and maybe it was okay, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. One thing's for sure, if it wasn't, as you go skipping on down the lane of time, it'll become increasingly apparent to you every time you have to look at that painting, and then after a while you grab it. And speaking of, this is one reason why I don't do a lot of varnishing on my paintings, but one thing I think I am going to start doing when I start shipping them out is I've discovered spray varnish, which is something I completely forgot about. If I've sold it, it's done. It's going out. But I like to reserve, if it's something in my, my inventory, I sort of reserve the right at any time to get in there and do some more painting. And I'm not the only artist like this. There's a lot of us like this. George and S, of course, as we've discussed. But plenty of artists, like to, and I guess that ties into when it's done. Well, when it's got some egregious things you just can't live with anymore, and you wanna put it on the easel and have another go. And what really sucks is to have to remove a layer of varnish. So this is one of the reasons I don't varnish my work unless or until I sell it. And if you do buy work from me and you're interested in having it varnished, please call that out. And speaking of, I have recently I've reconfigured the store so you can actually see the correct proportions of paintings. You can check out my store at Landscape Painter Co. NZ. I haven't actually got around to adding a lot of new things, and let's just put that down to you dealing with this move. But it's on my list. I'm going to be getting in there, and a couple things I want to do. I want to have some subdivision pages where that are done by size. So if you're interested in a small painting, or that's where your budget is, you just have paintings that are in that size range that you can look at all at one time, as opposed to what I have now, which is just a big sort of gallery with a bunch of different things in it. So I'm working on that. I'm working on lots of things, and one of the things that I'm pretty excited about is when we get in the new studio. First of all, it's going to be really quiet compared to the all the traffic noise and music in the background and stuff we've had to deal with. I mean, most of the noise you'll be hearing is like birds chirping, or possibly the neighbors got music going in the background, but that usually doesn't get picked up on a video anyway. Another thing is I'm definitely rolling around in my head that I might be able to go 100% live. I'm going to have to test the internet connection there. As I recall, it's not super bad, so we'll see. We'll see. But I was thinking of maybe doing some question and answer sessions. And the question in my brain is, what would be like a good time to do that? You know, since I'm a day ahead of you, but the reality is I'm either 3 to 5 hours ahead of most people in the States, and that's West Coast. If it's East Coast, oh my goodness, it's different, you know. Okay, here we are. We are in, last month, January, and what did I do? Well, I hit it with a glaze, and the glaze I hit it with was transparent earth red, and that just gave it an extra glow. You could see it going down. You could saw it just was glowy already. Now it's more glowy. And then the other thing that sort of inspired this was black spinel. I was thinking, ooh, I want to use my black spinel. Yeah, so I'm just, because what I like about black spinel is that it's very dense, but you can work with it fairly thin, and it's still quite opaque. I really like that. I think that's a brilliant feature. And so you can see what I did. I started bringing in some more contrast, some more interest. One of my problems with it before this time was that everything was a bit not lacking in contrast, I guess. It had expressiveness, it had good color. I guess we've got a minute. We could touch on the color. So here I'm doing what I call my golden thing, and I have my golden thing, I have my blue thing, I have my monochromatic thing, which I added in this year, I have my sepia thing. I haven't done a green thing. I might, though. I might do a complete landscape that's all greens, including the sky. I might do like that Charles Warren Eaton painting where he did the river with the trees bending over in the sky as this vivid green. You know, something like that might be cool. It's pretty exciting, but I haven't been able to do a lot of painting. I did finish my little series of figures, and I will be starting to work some of those out. That's going to be on my other channel, which I think is M. Francis McCarthy Paints the Nude or something like that. But I'll try and remember to put a link to that and start putting link to that on the bottom of these landscape videos. I have considered, since the name of this channel is M. Francis Painter, I might just fold a few out here. We'll see. We'll see. It seems silly to. I feel like David Gilmour and Pink Floyd. You know, why did he start Pink Floyd back up? And he says, well, I worked 10, 15 years building up this band, and no one knew David Gilmour. Everyone knew Pink Floyd, so it just made sense to expand his solo career into Pink Floyd Part 3. Right, very interesting. I think my figure channel's got 25 subscribers, but it's all good. I don't mind. People can watch or not watch, and I'm always here. I'm always talking. I'm always painting. I'm always talking, and I really appreciate those of you. I super appreciate those of you that have been laying donations on me. It really helps. Really helps. It's not that easy to be a painter in this current economic climate. And one of the reasons for that is I think humanity's in a bit of a transitional stage right now, where we have the robots and the economies of scale replacing broad swaths of what used to be human labor. I can definitely envision a future where a lot more people are artists and a lot more people are engaged in doing creative things and exchanging their work, and some sort of economies hopefully will grow around this sort of idea. But we're not there right now, so if you like what I do and you find it helpful or even just entertaining, You can tip on over to my site and click on the donate button there, or there's this a subscribe star, which will be a link at the bottom of the description in the video. You don't have to subscribe. You can just send me a tip. Some of you have done that. I really appreciate it. Super appreciate it. And I've got to remember to tip on over to subscribe star, and put a bunch of videos there. Anyway, I can see we're pretty close to the end. Got you a video here. I'll be getting this up tonight. I'm going to go do some more work for my new studio. And until I see you again, which will be real soon, I got stuff. Don't worry. I got plenty to share. But until I see you again with another video, take good care of yourself, your family, love your enemies, and stay out of trouble.